What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if the WandaVision finale was disappointing. There's obviously been a lot of conflicting thoughts of this show online. Obviously, when you build something up as big, and it's not like in a bad way, when you build a show up as, I would say, well as WandaVision did, you're going to have people have a lot of expectations, and then the show either is going to make it, and see, it's maybe going to let people down, all that kind of stuff. And even myself, I have very conflicting thoughts about the finale of WandaVision. So we're going to talk through it. We'll talk about some of the positives. We'll also talk about, if the show overall, if this episode was disappointing. I guess to say this early on, this is going to be a full-on spoiler. So if you guys haven't watched the finale yet, obviously go do that and then come back here when you're done. If you guys do like this stuff, make sure as always you guys are subscribed, bell icon turn on. If you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, Podcast Now 15 is my Twitter handle. I'll leave a link for it in the description below. Would love to have you guys following me over there. I tried to ask some people. I actually didn't even ask. I just said like the episode sure was something. And actually a lot of the people that responded to me, at least early, were actually not very happy with the episode. So here's what I'll say. For what it is, for what it actually was, I liked a lot of it. I mean, I told my wife this. It's very, I would say, difficult to do emotional scenes with the same two characters kind of going through the same thing. I mean, obviously, he's dying or going away or, disappearing in different ways, okay? Like Thanos, Wanda, and this one, it's kind of, I guess, Wanda, right, with the Hex being gone. Like, it's difficult to actually have that still be emotional every time. You know what I mean? Because if you have these two characters that are with each other and they get kind of split apart indefinitely over and over again, I mean, it can become tedious. It can become like, oh, it's not as powerful as the first time. No, I mean, we actually just rewatched Infinity War and Endgame a few weeks ago. I mean, their goodbye, and when Wanda was doing all that stuff, that was amazing in Infinity War. It still gets me now. And this goodbye was perfect. Saying goodbye to the kids, amazing. Saying goodbye to Vision, amazing. The action, pretty solid. The Vision versus Vision fight, I mean, it was a lot of CG. Not bad CG, but it was just CG. There's not too much you can say to that. I mean, did it need to happen? I guess the way that they designed it to. So you can point out negatives like that, but I would say overall, what they did was fine. They resolved a lot of things. They had the conclusion to Agatha. They had the conclusion to, in a way, right, Scarlet Witch, her getting her actual outfit, which, by the way, is absolutely insane. If there's one good thing that anybody can probably agree on that episode, is her outfit, which, by the way, I'm waiting. When I'm recording this, Funko has not announced a Funko Pop for it. I'm sure they will, and I will be first in line because I need that. That was amazing, okay? There were a lot of good things. Pulling out her old trick of basically, having people see certain things when she did that to Agatha and they went back to the witch trials. I mean, that was amazing. Again, like, it was solid. Monica being able to do some stuff. Darcy having the fun line of, like, enjoy prison or have fun in prison. I mean, even though she literally said, I think, one line in the entire episode, she was still absolutely amazing. Jimmy Woo still being incredible. He needs his own show. We all know that. They probably know that. I mean, come on, right? So I would say for what it's worth, it was solid. It was really solid. I saw a lot of people saying, and now we're going to play devil's advocate, which, by the way, I wouldn't even say it because I do agree that while I like a lot of this finale, I like a lot of parts of it, I do think it was disappointing. I really don't think there's any way around it. It doesn't mean I think it's bad. And that's a very, people kind of take things the wrong way, especially with me. That doesn't mean I hate the show. Doesn't mean I hate this final episode. It doesn't even mean that I don't like it. I actually do like it. I just think it could have been better, or it could have fulfilled more things, is all I mean, okay? I can't wait to see her again in Doctor Strange 2. Can't wait to see Doctor Strange 2. Can't wait to see if anything happens in Spider-Man No Way Home, all that kind of stuff, okay? So don't take this the wrong way. But they did play it safe. There's literally no way around it. They did play it safe. They had Mephisto or Nightmare, they had them right there to use one of those. And I know there's a couple other villains they could have used as well. They had them. But no, for whatever reason, they chose to exclude that. That's number one. And these are not in any particular order, although I do think there were some things bigger than the others. Vision, to me, like, stopping the other Vision and giving him his memory back, to me was, like, very fast. It didn't feel forced, okay? Because he kind of outwitted him, because he was talking about how, like, my instructions are to take out the true Vision, and he's like, well, I'm not. He kind of used his programming like against him to kind of find like a loophole in his words. It's like, okay, fine. And then obviously, you know, him giving back his memories to him, or like I guess unlocking the memories, like that was cool, but I just felt like it was kind of fast. And then he just bolts off. He just leaves. And again, I know he doesn't have personality. I know he doesn't have emotions, but like he knows everything now, but he's just like, no, I'm out. I'm gonna, you know, see ya. We don't know when we will see him again. We never get the aerospace engineer, or the engineer that Monica was talking about. A lot of people thought obviously that'd be John Krasinski. It'd be your way of bringing in the Fantastic Four. They did nothing with that. They didn't do anything with Evan Peters. So this is one of the two it's this and then the multiverse thing. Those are the two things we'll kind of end it on. And I'm sure I'm missing things. I always do this, and I'll try to remember maybe as we're going on. But the Evan Peters thing, I mean, it was right. That you know, Mephisto and all that stuff, like that was kind of there. Like you could have done that, but it wasn't like staring you directly in the face. I mean, for the love of God, Evan Peters was right there. And I guess, like, no, I mean, I was about to still give them some slack. I don't know if there's any like way of rationalizing that it could still be the other world's Quicksilver. In fact, I just flat out do not think it is. I mean, all of the stuff that the show said, all of the stuff that everybody else said, you know, that we're kind of like on the outside, directors and writers, really, there's nothing you can kind of pull from where it's like, oh, maybe. I mean, yeah, they did say, like, we'll have to sit back down and talk about who his character actually is, but, like, he's Ralph. And again, I don't know if there's anything more you can do with that, but he was the husband that she was talking about the whole time. He was, like, locked in her room, or locked in a room in that house. But that was it. He was controlled by the necklace. He is fast, but you know, like that's it. He's not actually, obviously he's not the Quicksilver from this universe, but he's not the Quicksilver from the X-Men universe. So I just feel like that one, I get it. You know, like many people have even said, like again from the outside, like higher ups there, has said like, you know, it was a fun meta thing to do, where it's like we all know who he is in another franchise. You know, kind of everybody knows, but they're not going to actually do it. But they're going to kind of, you know, they're going to do it kind of for fun. And it's like, again, you know, the Paul Bettany thing was kind of funny. Like, okay, fireworks, you've always admired this guy. Funny, you're talking about yourself. I respect that. He seems like a really cool guy. But, like, this Quicksilver one is like, well, I mean, you had him right there. And you have the multiverse going on. And that's obviously why everybody was so into it. But you literally just left it. Now, again, maybe if they do something with it, but I don't really know if they left the door open to that whatsoever. We'll have to see, you know, obviously in the next couple movies or, like, things that they do with Marvel. But to me, that was a huge, I would say wasted. It was a wasted opportunity. And then the multiverse. Now, again, this, I wouldn't go so hard to say this was wasted, because while it didn't go the way a lot of us thought it did, right? Like, the world wasn't engulfed in the multiverse. It didn't lead right. I mean, we didn't see like Tobey Maguire. It didn't lead. The end credit scene wasn't Spider-Man, right? They didn't do that. But as I've said in a couple videos over the past day on this show, they gave hints, right? She obviously has her new, I mean, she's like unlocked kind of like a new level up for her. Obviously has the new costume. But Agatha did make it known a couple times that she's done something here that like is going to have consequences, right? Like she's unleashed something. She's done something that she, in that moment, probably doesn't even know. Obviously, Agatha knows, right? I do think there was a sense of, I don't think she was lying to her, basically, when she was saying, like, hey, you're gonna need me, and, like, you don't know what you've just done, you know, stuff like that. You know, obviously, she's begging kind of for her life so that she doesn't get that she doesn't get locked up or whatever, but I do think there is an element of truth there. Obviously, again, Wanda tricked her and used her own, tricks against her with, like, the runes, but she is very knowledgeable, Agatha. So she probably knows that, like, hey, if this happens, this will happen because of it. And so I'd like to believe that without us even seeing it, Wanda did do something to the Earth, or it's, you know, something. She messed with something that'll connect with Doctor Strange. She messed with something that'll connect with Spider-Man, that'll lead to, hopefully, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, all that kind of stuff, right? That's what I would like to believe. Now, again, the disappointing part when it comes to the show is that, I guess, and this is subjective, I guess it's that they didn't, like, show it. They didn't, like, put it into our faces that, like, okay, because she did this, this will now happen. They didn't do that part. Now, again, that doesn't mean it won't happen. That doesn't mean that it didn't happen behind the scenes. It just means that they didn't show it to us. Again, I agree with people that are saying that it's kind of disappointing because I would have liked a little bit more. It was safe. They did play it kind of close to their chest. They wanted to. I feel like a lot of things were really neat, which is neat as in like tidy, right? They tidied things up, which is kind of cool, and I like it as its own standalone thing. Like, it actually, when you step back and look at it, it does, I think, really solidify itself more and more as a very standalone stuff. Now, obviously, you would probably need to watch this for future stuff, obviously, because she'll be in it, and maybe Vision will come back, all that stuff. But it was very tidy, and a lot of loose ends were kind of sealed, while also leaving it open in a couple of regards, but not nearly as much, I think, as what people want, including myself. I will throw myself in with those people. I did want more. I did, in a way, I think a lot of us did. I think we wanted it to be, let's bring in chaos, right? Chaos magic. I think we wanted it to be a little bit more chaotic as the ending, right? Where, like, things weren't wrapped up. Things weren't kind of nice. You know what I mean? Like, it was, like, obviously, Wanda's reading books and, like, doing all sorts of stuff towards the ending, but, like, you know, I think we kind of want it to be a little bit more weird, a little bit more. It didn't have to be dire or like threatening or like they need to solve this right. And it didn't need to be like the ending of Infinity War where it's like, holy Jesus, like what now? It didn't need to be like that. But I think a lot of us were expecting things to be kind of, you know, a little bit more messy, which would introduce Doctor Strange or would introduce Spider-Man, right? Whereas with this, it actually kind of kept things very clean. And then, again, if you kind of read between the lines, you could probably see that, oh, okay, well, obviously things are still going to happen, right? So, again, very subjective question. I love to make these kinds of videos because sometimes, actually most times, for this I do agree, okay? I agree to an extent. Most times when I make these kind of videos, if something's disappointing, I don't actually agree with it. But I do like to hear what people have to say, and I think it gets a good conversation going. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think? Did you not like this episode? Do you think it was safe? Do you think it was disappointing? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. Again, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, PodcastNow15 is my Twitter handle. Link for that's in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see if I cover Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'd like to from time to time. You know, we'll kind of sprinkle in videos. I'm definitely not done covering Marvel content. There'll be plenty of Marvel content as the months and years go on. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you all on the next video.